For the past 20 years, I've been working in the field of asylum and forced migration. And for 20 years, you and I have been witnessing human rights violations. But when we say human rights violations, what do we actually mean? Sometimes I feel the term is sanitized. We are violating people. We violate their lives. We violate their bodies. We violate their hopes and their dreams and the dreams of their families. This evening, I was invited to speak at another event at Sophia Detention Center, protesting against the conditions in detention and also calling for the release of a group of Ethiopians, some of whom have been living in Malta for 17 years. That's before we had the euro, it's before we had the new buses. They're a part of our community. And 7 months ago, they were picked up whilst they were at work, working legally, and placed in detention for deportation. They're still there today. And no crime has been committed. And it was things like this that sent me into a downward nosedive, trying to make sense of what the hell is happening. And it was a deep dive. And it took me into whole new theoretical paradigms. Today I'm drawing on centuries of critical theoretical thought. And I'm going to pose a question and also a reflection. The first is the question: how might we coexist with humans and non-humans in ways that foster collective and non-exploitative ways of living? And I'd like to propose a relational ethics that acknowledges our materiality and codependency with other humans and non-humans. Because I think we need new ideas, new concepts, new paradigms to think through what we're doing. But first, I'll start with a story. It's a tale of two Sophias. Now, some of you will be familiar with Operation Sophia. And Operation Sophia was the EU, or is the EU, border patrol mission and also a search and rescue mission that was operating in the Mediterranean in 2015. Now, as you know, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people have lost their lives trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea. Operation Sophia was named after this baby. Baby Sophia was born on a German frigate in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. And the reason she was born on a vessel in the middle of the Mediterranean is because her mum was denied the possibility to travel in a safe and legal way, in the way that you and I take for granted. Because if you're Maltese, you have one of the most powerful passports in the world. You don't even think about it. You book a flight and off you go. Now, had Sophia's mum landed in Malta, she probably would have got subsidiary protection. She was from Somalia. Had she been granted subsidiary protection, there is no route to citizenship. No way that baby Sophia can become a Maltese citizen. And I want you to hold that thought. Just this week, our Prime Minister asked if human rights are always merited. Merited. This is Sophia. Sophia the cyborg. And Sophia the cyborg also visited Malta in 2018. And it made headline news. It was all over the place. And there was press conferences, and the parliamentary secretary at the time, Sylvia Schembri, said government will explore a pilot project to see if it's time to discuss citizenship for robots. And I'm not going to lie, I had a what the fuck moment. Sophia has citizenship in Saudi Arabia. And I'm left thinking, well, what about if baby Sophia was a cyborg? Maybe she'd get citizenship too. Then something else happened. In 2019, I visited Kakuma camp in North Kenya. I was working on a project with young refugees who live in Kakuma camp. They can't leave Kakuma camp. The EU funds the camp. We send money to the camp to make sure that people stay in the camp. It's called the externalization of borders. And after the project, I was sat on a small UN plane in the middle of a field. We couldn't take off because there was a cow on the field. And I was scrolling through my Facebook, and it was on a loop because I didn't have Wi-Fi. And there was an argument on Twitter. Those were the days. An argument between Macron and Bolsonaro, and they were arguing about the fires in the Amazon. And Macron was angry, and he was saying that they weren't doing enough to protect the lungs of the planet. And I thought that was fascinating at that moment, because suddenly sovereign borders didn't matter so much. It was one planet. For centuries, capitalism, the economic paradigm that shapes our lives and shapes the planet, has tapped into all forms of life, human and non-human, to maximize profit. Capitalism has not only led to the most grotesque inequalities and climate refugees, but also to biodiversity loss and man-made climate change. As a species, we are now a geological force, shaping and changing the planet, destroying the planet. Now, we're here today because we know that ideas matter. Ideas shape our lives, and ideas shape our planet. Some ideas have been running for centuries, and one of them was the notion that we as a species are exceptional. In the middle of everything, literally the center of the universe. It is the elite, white, able-bodied man that sits at the center of everything. And it is this idea that has generated hierarchies and toxic binaries. This man over other human beings, an ideal that nobody can never meet. And this species over the whole of the planet. So man over those humans who are not quite human. Baby Sophia, whose rights are perhaps not merited. Man over planet. the Amazon forest, and even man over machine. So we have this notion of the independent, rational, reasonable man. Mind over matter. And here, I'm going to critique the title of today's event, because I'm not sure it is mind over matter. I'd like to suggest that it's mind entangled with matter, one and the same thing. Anyone going through stress will tell you that what is happening in their mind is happening in their body. And what is happening in their body is happening in their mind, entangled, enmeshed. We are all of the same matter. Matter that reproduces itself in the most amazing and spectacular ways, but still stuff. We're not that exceptional. And so perhaps it's time that we just got over ourselves. So, whether you're a plant, whether you're a cockroach, or Donald Trump, or baby Sophia, or baby cyborg, or Sophia the cyborg, you're made of the same stuff. And we need that stuff in order to exist. We are codependent. We depend on the planet. I mean, let's face it, the planet would do well without us. Without us, it would thrive. But we are not rational and autonomous. We're entangled and codependent, enmeshed. I'd like to suggest that I'm already a cyborg. I have a watch that is measuring my heart rate all the time. Some of you will understand that it's thanks to HRT technology that I can talk to you today. Otherwise, I'm a geological force in my own right, and I'd be heating up this room. I have a smartphone that never leaves my side. I used artificial intelligence to help prepare this presentation. Some of us have pacemakers, artificial limbs, knee replacements, hip replacements. We're already cyborgs, enmeshed with matter. I'm not even sure it's man over machine. Ask any surgeon or military commander, and they'll tell you that AI is making life and death decisions already. So should we be afraid of artificial intelligence? Perhaps. No more or less than baby Sophia should be afraid of me. Because ultimately, it's not about the human or the AI. It's about the values, the ethical paradigm that shapes that relationship. We exist, we suffer, we feel, and we thrive in a relational way with those close to us and those far away, those we see and those we don't see. Baby Sophia knows this. So, how do we dismantle the hierarchies that continue to bring on so much violence, whilst bearing witness to the historical and ongoing violence that occurs every day? What are we becoming, and what will we leave behind? Because here's the thing, we're all just passing through. Let's get over ourselves. We're not staying. Can we come and find a humbling respect for our materiality that acknowledges our relationship with other matter, all matter. So I'd like to propose 2 questions. What are the values that will shape our ideas and how we act on and in the world? And might a relational ethics that recognizes that we are all made of the same stuff generate a more just and compassionate world? It feels strange to be saying it in this room with this backdrop, but we are in and of the cosmos. We are matter, the same stuff. Special, but not that special. Enmeshed, entangled. As an academic and as a youth worker, it's my job to just carve out spaces for young people to think. Now, it's not my job to tell young people what to think. It's just to create a space for them to be creative, to be courageous, to run with their imaginations and to think the unthinkable. At the beginning of every academic year, I ask them the same question. It's not just about ideas, it's about values. What are the ethical paradigms that are going to shape your ideas? What do you stand for? And if you tell me I stand for nothing, then I'll tell you you're already falling for anything. It is your values. It is the ethical paradigm that shapes who we are and who we are becoming. And this evening, I encourage you to hold on to that thought, always mindful that hope is a political act. Thank you.